Hello and welcome to our next installment of Story Time with Father Colin. We're going to be reading today an old story told and illustrated by Tomie dePaula called The Clown of God. The Clown of God by Tomie dePaula, told and illustrated by him. Alrighty. Ready? Many, many years ago, in Sorrento, that's in Italy, there lived a small boy named Giovanni, who had no father and no mother. He dressed in rags and begged his bread and slept in doorways. But he was happy, and he could do something wonderful. He could juggle. Every day he would go to Signor Baptista's fruit and vegetable stall and juggle. So here's Giovanni, the poor boy dressed in rags, and here's him juggling at Signor Baptista's stall. Giovanni the juggler. He would juggle lemons and oranges, apples and eggplants, and even zucchini. Crowds would gather to watch, and when Giovanni had finished, they would buy from Signor Baptista. Then Signor Baptista's wife would give Giovanni a bowl of hot soup. It was a very good arrangement. So there's Giovanni juggling. I think those are eggplants that he's juggling there. And there he's getting a nice bowl of soup down there after a hard day's work of juggling. One day, a troupe of traveling players came to town, and Giovanni watched as Arlecchino and Colombina, in their beautiful clothes, danced and sang. Oh, Giovanni said to himself, that is the life for me. So when the play was over, Giovanni went and spoke to the maestro. No, said the maestro, I have no need for a ragamuffin. Go, beg your bread somewhere else. But I could be very helpful, pleaded Giovanni. I could help unpack and pack up. I could take care of the donkey. And maestro, added Giovanni, I can juggle. So here's Giovanni. Watching see Giovanni's over here. And he's watching the troupe there. And here's him talking to the maestro. Talking to the maestro over there. So he joined a juggling troupe. Not bad, said the maestro, watching. With a bit more training and practice, all right, but no money. A place to sleep and companionship with the finest players in Italy and a bowl of noodles. That's all. Grazie, signor, said Giovanni. Go get your things. We leave in an hour, said the maestro. And so Giovanni said goodbye to Signor and Signora Baptista and became a traveling player. So there's Giovanni showing the maestro. You can look at zucchini. And then they're leaving. He's now part of a traveling troupe. Not long after, the maestro gave him a costume, and Giovanni juggled for the crowds. He would put on a clown's face, step out from the curtain before the play began, bow, open up a colorful bag, roll out a carpet, and begin. He would juggle sticks, plates. Then he would balance the plates on the sticks and twirl them. He would juggle clubs, rings, and burning torches. So here's Giovanni getting ready. And there's him juggling torches, flaming torches. Imagine if you dropped one of those on your head. That wouldn't be very fun, would it? Finally, he would toss a red ball and an orange ball, then a yellow ball, a green, a blue, a violet ball, until it looked as if he were juggling the rainbow. And now for the sun in the heavens, he would cry. Still juggling, he would pick up a shining golden ball and toss it higher and higher, faster and faster, and how the crowds would cheer. So there's Giovanni juggling all those balls, including the golden one at the top there. Giovanni became very famous, and it wasn't long before he said goodbye to the traveling troupe and set off on his own. Up and down Italy he traveled, and although his costume became more beautiful, he always kept the face of a clown. Once he juggled for a duke, once for a prince, and it was always the same. First the sticks, then the plates, then the clubs, rings, and burning torches. Finally, the rainbow of colored balls. And now for the sun in the heavens, he would shout, and the golden ball would fly higher and higher, and the crowds would laugh and clap and cheer. So there's Giovanni again getting ready to perform for some famous person. And then here he is, juggling the balls once again. There he is, including the sun in the heavens right there at the top. One day between two towns, Giovanni was sitting in the shade of a tree, eating a lunch of bread and cheese. Two little brothers came down the road. That's Franciscans. Two Franciscans came down the road. People who are in the community of St. Francis. Will you share your food with us, good clown, they asked, for the love of God and the blessings of our brother Francis? Sit down, good fellows, Giovanni said. There is more than enough. As the three men ate, the two little brothers told Giovanni how they went from town to town, begging their food and spreading the joy of God. Our founder, Brother Francis, says that everything sings of the glory of God. Why, even your juggling, said one of the brothers. That's well and good for men like you, but I only juggle to make people laugh and applaud, Giovanni said. It's the same thing, the brothers said. If you give happiness to people, you give glory to God as well. If you say so, said Giovanni, laughing. But now I must be off to the next town. Arrivederci, good brothers, and good luck. So there's Giovanni bidding farewell to the little brothers, to the Franciscans. To the next town. And wherever Giovanni went, the air was filled with his flying sticks and plates, his clubs and rings and torches, and always his rainbow of balls and the sun in the heavens. And wherever Giovanni went, the faces of the crowds would be all smiles, and the sound of laughter and cheers would ring through the towns. So there's Giovanni, still entertaining people. Still entertaining people and causing them to laugh and to cheer and to be happy. And as those brothers said, to give glory to God, making people happy. Years passed. Giovanni grew old and times became hard. People no longer stopped to watch. It's only the old clown who juggles things. We've all seen him before, they said. Giovanni was sad, but still he juggled, until one day he dropped the sun in the heavens. And the rainbow of balls came crashing down, and the crowd stood around him and laughed, but not from joy. Then they did a terrible thing. They threw vegetables and stones at Giovanni, so that he had to run for his life. See, there's people not being so entertained anymore, and there's Giovanni running for his life after he dropped the sun in the heavens. Poor Giovanni, what's wrong with those people? Why would they do that? That's so mean. Beside a stream, Giovanni took off his clown face. He put away his sticks and his plates, his clubs and rings and colored balls. He put away his costume and gave up juggling forever. What little money he soon had was gone, and his clothes became rags, and he begged his bread and slept in doorways as he had done as a child. It's time to go home, the old man said wearily, and so he headed back to Sorrento. So there's Giovanni giving everything up, washing his face, getting rid of the clown gear. Here he's trying to beg for bread, just like he did before, just like he did when he was a child. It was a cold winter night when he finally arrived. The wind blew hard, and an icy rain was falling. Up ahead loomed the monastery church of the Little Brothers of the Franciscans. The windows were in darkness. Wet and cold, old Giovanni crept inside and fell in a heap in a corner. Soon he was asleep. So there's Giovanni, walking up to the big monastery church of the Franciscans. Look at that church. It's beautiful, isn't it? In good old Sorrento. It was the music that eventually woke him up. The church was blazing with candlelight and filled with people singing, "Gloria! Gloria!" Giovanni could scarcely believe his eyes. So much beauty. A long procession of brothers, priests, sisters, and townspeople, all carrying beautiful gifts, was winding its way through the church. They placed their gifts in front of a statue of a lady and her child. "What is all this?" asked Giovanni of someone standing near. "Why, old man, it's the birthday of the Holy Child," the woman said. "It's the procession of the gifts." Here we are, the procession of the gifts in the big church, with brothers and priests and sisters and townspeople. And there's Giovanni. "What's going on?" he says. Giovanni watched in amazement until the singing was over. Then the church emptied of all the people and was darkened except for the bright candles surrounding the lady and the child. Giovanni moved closer. The child in the lady's arms seemed so serious, so stern. So there's Giovanni moving close to the statue of the lady. And look at the child. He seems so serious and so stern, doesn't he? He's not even smiling. I wonder what's going on there. It's very serious. "Oh, lady," said Giovanni, "I wish I had something to offer too. Your child seems so sad, even with all these beautiful gifts." "But wait, I used to make people smile." Giovanni opened his bag and shook out his old costume. Then he put on his clown face, bowed, rolled out the little rug, and began to juggle. First the sticks, then the plates. Next he twirled the plates on the sticks, and then the clubs and rings. So here's Giovanni, wishing that he could offer something worthy, a worthy gift to the child, to make him laugh. And here he begins to, he's getting ready, putting his face back on. He's putting his clown face back on. Brother Sexton, who was coming in to lock the doors, saw Giovanni juggling. He was horrified. "Father Master," he cried, rushing off to get the priest. "A sacrilege! Come quickly!" And just so you know, a sacrilege is when we use something holy for the wrong reason. We're not taking care to respect what's holy. That's what sacrilege means. But Giovanni didn't hear or notice him. And now said Giovanni, smiling at the face of the child, "First the red ball, then the orange, next the yellow and the green and the blue and the violet. Around and up they went until they looked like a rainbow." See, there's Brother Sexton, who's in charge of making sure the doors are locked. He's running off to go see the priest, the head priest, because he's sacrilege. Something bad is happening here. And there's Giovanni beginning to juggle. First one ball, then the next. Then another and another and another and another. And finally, said Giovanni, "The sun in the heavens." The gold ball flew up, around and around, higher and higher. Giovanni had never juggled so well in all his life. Higher and higher, faster and faster, a blaze of color filled the air. It was magnificent. Giovanni's heart was pounding. "For you, sweet child, for you," he cried. See, there's more and more. And there's the gold ball in the heavens. It's going higher and higher and higher. "For you, sweet child, for you," he cried. Then, suddenly, his old heart stopped, and Giovanni fell to the floor, dead. There's Giovanni. His old heart gave out. Too high and too fast. Let's take a moment of silence for Giovanni. The priest and Brother Sexton came running in. Remember, Brother Sexton went to go get the priest. Stooping over old Giovanni, the priest said, "Why, the poor clown is dead. May his soul rest in peace." So there's the priest ministering to old Giovanni, who's deceased. He's died. But the Brother Sexton backed away, and with his mouth wide open, he stared at the statue of the lady and her holy child. "Oh, Father," he said, pointing. "Father, look!" The child was smiling, and in his hand he held the golden ball. There he is, holding the golden ball. The end. So the clown of God, the story of Giovanni the juggler, teaches us that no matter what, as long as we're with an open heart and with joy in our hearts, we're giving everything we have, everything we can to Jesus. Of course, Jesus is that smiling child there at the end, right? And sitting in the arms of Mary, his mother. As long as we're doing everything we have, everything we can with joy, giving thanks to God for his gifts, and sharing those gifts with other people, it makes Jesus smile. It gives Jesus joy. And so an encouragement to us, whatever talents, whatever abilities God has given us, let's use them to bring joy and happiness to others. And so bring them a little closer to God, just as we ourselves are brought a little closer to God by our own joy. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and take care, and God bless you all.